My learning intention for my AIF journey was to create a self-edited music video which shared a story meaningful to me. I focused on storytelling through editing techniques, a skill that is essential if I decide to pursue this endeavor as a career. It allowed me an outlet to express myself and furthered my understanding of myself as I shared my developing thoughts and emotions to others in a personal, creative manner. I learned which stories I wanted to express and the aspects of me I wanted to share to my friends and the rest of the world. The music video I produced culminated in the message that we, my audience and myself alike, are at the perfect age and position in our lives to follow our dreams. My learning intention required finding a story with which I resonated, then discerning how I could express that story in a shorter and creative context. This led my reflection to the specific story I wanted to show, choosing to follow an initially sad and emotionally powerful story and building to a redemption that moves into an inspirational message of following dreams. Initially, I had also desired to focus on complexity of editing. However, after attempting intricately edited projects during the unit, I realized it was too time-consuming to replicate in a 4-minute format. Responding to this, I shifted my spotlight to a story-centric approach and was able to produce an output that addressed my learning intention and displayed skills I was proud of. When I started, I didn't know how to express myself through editing, rather simply telling as opposed to showing stories or creating visual spectacles. Now, I can create both an expressive, meaningful story, but also a coherent and visually impressive music video. My learning process was incredibly valuable, allowing development of skills like color grading, a highly sought-after professional skill that would be beneficial if I were to explore this as a career. This also helped me discover personal meaning behind a story and express that. I grasped the power of unspoken techniques, every visual or audio element expressing complex emotion, such as muffling music to indicate distress, or shifting colors to create a seamless tonal shift. Through constructing a variety of edits in different styles, I began to understand the implications and emotional strengths of techniques I hadn't previously considered. I learned that shakes, for example, are a powerful technique that can be utilized as either a distracting transition on a strong beat or to emphasize the impact of an emotional point, such as an allusion to death. It taught me I learned better through self-directed visual learning as opposed to being told the theory first. Overall, the development of these skills and successfully recreating them for my own purpose was the most fulfilling part of this experience. I now have a final video where I can pinpoint exactly what technique I used, and I can experience exactly what emotion I wanted to convey through it. These emotions are a testament to my growth, where I began with using exposition to create emotional moments to now creating my own through audio and visual effects, which are able to convey my personal complex feelings alongside the story. The main factors which helped me progress my learning included my drive for improvement through experimentation, my social media audience and friends, and resources like professionals and supported videos. I focused mostly on the strategy of experimentation to drive my learning forward. Experimentation helped me learn my interface. I became more familiar with the timeline and its functions, and different tabs, such as the adjustments, speed, and effects tabs. This was especially helpful for my biggest challenge, losing many features to the implementation of a paywall. The app I was editing on CapCut began to place a subscription over certain higher quality features, which I couldn't afford. This meant I had to recreate effects I wished to use in a way that was free. Vibration flash, for example, I could recreate through a white image, but switching to an overlay, making the image it was on top of brighter instead of white, and then fading it out to replicate the flash. The vibration I could replicate with the free vertical blur feature, then increasing its intensity from 0 to 100 and back to 0 in a certain time frame to reinvent the vibration function. This, which I could learn how to do for many other features, improved my understanding of features alongside my aesthetic and storytelling skills. I discovered specific transitions like a flash elicited a specific emotion. If used on a strong beat, it was a distraction for a transition. However, on an inspirational beat, it felt uplifting and highlighted the beauty in the scene. Feedback furthered this development, encouraging me to involve others' views to nuance my own. Certain features I believed would work were critiqued and caused me to reflect and realize they were incongruous, such as these transitions in my final product not matching the emotion I attempted to convey. The various perspectives, from people with no experience with editing to university students that studied film, contributed to the aesthetic and story-based critiques which I acted on to improve my edits. Jordan Orm, a professional music video editor whom I interviewed, told me he edits to be the first person to view the final product. This was something that made me consider editing, not just for aesthetic reasons, but for myself, and creating something of which I could be truly proud of and to watch in the years to come. This was another component to evolving my learning goal from intricate, detailed editing to an emotional visual story. My output of learning was a 4-minute music video which incorporated visual effects with storytelling to present a commentary on following your dreams. This imbued all the visual skills I had developed to tell a compelling story and express myself in a personal, creative way. Every feature and scene was intentional, every visual effect playing a role at either conveying the emotion of the show or the song. I picked from 16 hours worth of footage and condensed it down into a 4-minute tangible and visually impressive story. I managed to achieve this through the process of experimentation, reflecting on my areas of growth after every edit, and through research in which I developed skills and altered my perspective on storytelling. It taught me skills like show, don't tell, a visual technique where you allow the viewer to observe events and recognize the conclusion you want them to without explicitly stating it. Similarly, communication with the professional Jordan Orm invigorated my passion for editing. His wise insights into his passion synthesized with mine and encouraged me to view this project as a reflective piece of me instead of a recounting of the story. The output's final message to pursue your dreams is a direct statement from me to my audience and future self, in the hopes that we can lead lives we can be proud of. To do so, I combined my knowledge of emotional visual techniques and manipulated the audio of that section to be quieter so that the speech would come through clearly and match the emotions of the song. Earlier in the unit, I would have instead had the speech lead into the edit, but through consistent growth in trial and error and through new advanced techniques I learned such as color grading and show don't tell, I was able to construct a video that was engaging, emotive, and understandable, even to those unfamiliar with the story.